Hello, I'm Alex Venegas. I'm a principal planner in the planning office. I'm here today to talk to you about the land use chapter of the comprehensive plan. For more information on this topic, you can visit our web portal, Pathway to 2040, located at www.pwcgov.org/pathway to 2040. Here's an overview of the information we will cover in this presentation. First, we will discuss the land use vision. The vision articulates the desired land use outcome, which promotes investment, acknowledges the values of the community, and creates a picture of how the land use will contribute to the appearance of the county over the next 20 years. Second on the agenda is the quality of life values. These are the core values that create a sustainable and vibrant community. Next, we'll do a review of the concepts of multimodal system planning that is an essential foundation to ensure connectivity of the various land use activities throughout the county. The fourth item is the introduction into the land use classifications, as we've developed a new suite of designations as well as remove certain classifications that no longer serve the vision of the county. The fifth item covered will be our activity centers and redevelopment corridors. Lastly, we will cover the environmental resource protection overlay, followed by the next steps associated with the land use chapter. For the land use chapter, the vision statement is built around three core concepts that makes Prince William County a truly unique community. The first is its diversity, recognizing both the distinct geographical landscape that transverses from the scenic shores of the Potomac River to the majestical views of the Bull Run Mountains, as well as our vibrant cultural and ethnical diverse population that makes Prince William County distinct in the region. The other concept is equity, a community that creates conditions and makes decisions through an equity lens that allow all in the community the opportunity to participate and reach their full potential. And the last concept is sustainability, a community that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. These are the quality of life values for a sustainable and vibrant community. The first is accessible community, which consists of connectivity to community amenities, facilities, and services through equitable access of adequate infrastructure using multimodal or digital technology options to reach these important resources. The next is community collaboration. It involves the civic involvement in policy change and development process while ensuring transparency and accountability through open communications by engaging all residents and stakeholders, including our vulnerable and underserved population. Cultural and environmental stewardship involves the ownership in the process of preserving and enhancing all of the county's history, as well as environmental resources through the preservation of open space, the incorporation of design features, best practices, policies, and strategies that promote long-term efficiency and sustainability of these valuable assets. Economic prosperity. This involves economic opportunities that promote a mix of businesses that support and sustain competition, diversity, entrepreneurship, and innovation while providing equal access to a variety of jobs that pay living wages and career training opportunities for advancement. Inclusive community. Embracing the vibrant cultural and ethnical diverse population that makes our community distinct while creating conditions through an equity lens that allow all participants to reach their full potential. Housing opportunities. Ensuring an adequate supply of affordable and diverse types of housing options that meet the needs of all county residents while considering issues such as neighborhood preservation and universal design for aging in place. Healthy community, access to enhanced cultural, educational, environmental, and recreational opportunities while ensuring these benefits and amenities are available to all residents as part of a healthy and supportive community. Multimodal system plan. What is a multimodal district? A multimodal district is any portion of the county that has good multimodal connectivity, either through current infrastructure or proposed in the CIP. Multimodal centers are those locations, activity centers throughout the county where people go for entertainment, for shopping, and various activities. Multimodal corridors are those areas along Route 1 or along Sudley Road where we have existing commercial development that needs revitalization. One of the most important concepts in the multimodal system plan is the transect system. The transect is the entire spectrum from rural to urban, with T1 being the lowest transect, which is consistent with what is in the rural area, all the way through to T6, which is our most dense, which is more of an urban setting and around transit. What are some of the goals of the multimodal system design? They include creating a statewide resource for local planners, engineers, designers, policy and decision makers, and anyone involved in multimodal planning throughout Virginia. Identifying integrated land use, transportation, and urban design approaches to support multimodal mobility. And lastly, to provide guidelines to help planners optimize transit investment and reduce reliance on single occupancy vehicles. As part of the land use chapter update, we've created a new suite of land use designations that are urban and suburban in nature. The first is the town center, which provides a mix of uses arranged in a pedestrian-friendly urban form. These centers are locations for regional commercial and entertainment destinations and will provide access to amenities to adjacent residential and employment centers. The next is urban neighborhoods, and those are areas of opportunity to develop higher density, mixed-use residential, close to transit centers, commuter lots, or town centers. Office mixed use. The purpose of this classification is to provide for areas of low to high-rise offices for things such as research, development activities, and other functions. These projects developed in this classification shall be of mixed use, including office use with retail and retail service uses. Community mixed use. These mixed-use live-work centers include both residential and commercial uses arranged in a pedestrian-friendly form. These centers are located for community commercial entertainment designations and public facilities directly accessible to surrounding communities. Suburban neighborhoods. These are locations primarily to accommodate single-family homes arranged in small to medium lots. Neighborhood mixed use. These are neighborhoods that provide focus on local employment uses within an urban or suburban mixed-use environment. And the last one is the technology flex, which is primarily industrial areas that provide opportunities for production, flexible office and warehouse space, and warehouse uses. In addition to creating new land use designations for adaptability to market trends and to offer greater flexibility to encourage more compact, walkable communities, we also examined several land use classifications to determine if they should remain or be replaced. These are the land use classifications that we would like to eliminate. Primarily, they're broken down into urban and suburban land use classifications. The Washington Metropolitan Council of Governments has identified several key regional activity centers that serve as urban centers, transit hubs, and regional employment centers. We have broken the county down into three different distinct groups. The first is Regional Activity Center, which will accommodate most of our future growth as we move forward on our pathway to 2040. The next is our Local Activity Centers, which are locations that serve particular areas of the county, such as nodes within small area plans. And the last is our Redevelopment Corridors. Redevelopment corridors are geographic areas consistent of older commercial neighborhoods which aren't experiencing their full economic potential. And these areas have been identified as a priority for investment strategies that will serve as a catalyst to promote and perpetuate economic viability. As part of the evaluation process for each activity center and redevelopment corridor, our consultant conducted the following steps. They looked at previous studies associated with the respective areas. Next, they looked at the existing character by conducting field visits. They also examined existing conditions and constraints, looked at the cultural resources and environmental considerations, evaluated the area for transportation connectivity from a multimodal perspective, including bicycle and pedestrian facilities, looked at existing market, residential and commercial, as well as development opportunity sites within the activity center. And lastly, our consultant identified challenges and opportunities to development and mobility within the study area. There are 8 activity centers that we evaluated. The first 4 have been reconciled with our consultant, which are the Dumfries I-95 corridor, Potomac Mills, Gainesville, Route I-66 and Route 29, and Haymarket. The last 4 are being reconciled, and those are the Bethlehem Road, Liberia Avenue, Fairgrounds, and Yorkshire. For this presentation, I will review one of the county's activity centers and the 2 redevelopment corridors. All the proposed land use classification and policies for these activity centers will be found on the Pathway to 2040 web portal. The study area for the Dumfries Activity Center is approximately 276 acres. This activity center is located at the I-95 and Dumfries Road interchange in eastern Prince William County. The town of Dumfries is located southeast of the study area, and Prince William Forest Park is immediately west of the study area. Some of the existing land use in the area consist of aging commercial and hospitality land uses north of Dumfries Road, planned and under construction low-density commercial use on the western side of Dumfries Road, large and undeveloped land use on the northeast and southwest study area boundary. The evaluation of the study area identified issues and opportunities that are key in addressing and developing to ensure a successful plan for the Dumfries Activity Center. We have several applications that were recently approved, as well as the Colonial Downs Gaming Space, Restaurant, and Event Center, which would include a 75-acre park to the south of the Activity Center. The county has also invested in the Route 1 widening and rerouting a certain portion of the main street for Dumfries. Some of the mobility observations included 2 nearby commuter lots, which are served by OmniRide bus routes. There is also a planned expansion of Van Buren Road from Dumfries Road to Cardinal Drive, which will enhance the connectivity in this area and allow opportunities for pedestrian and bicycle connectivity. Some of the key policies for land use, housing, and mobility for the Dumfries Activity Center include encouraging compact, walkable infill development at existing commercial and office land use development patterns, encourage a smaller scaled mix of housing, office, and neighborhood serving commercial uses, increase pedestrian and bicycle connectivity along the north and south side of Dumfries Road, as well as including additional placemaking opportunities to create a walkable and thriving activity center. The Dumfries Activity Center consists of suburban neighborhood in the west of the subject area and neighborhood mixed use situated between the community mixed use and suburban neighborhood south of Dumfries Road. On the north side of Dumfries Road, it's split between suburban neighborhood and neighborhood mixed use. The key policies for the land use, housing, and mobility for the Dumfries Activity Center include encouraging compact, walkable infill development at existing commercial and office land use development patterns, encourage a smaller scaled mix of housing, office, neighborhood serving commercial use near the existing and future residential neighborhoods. It's important for us to also increase the pedestrian and bicycle connectivity along the north side and south side of Dumfries Road. One of the key policies for the housing within the activity center include infill of multiple housing as part of the commercial redevelopment site to encourage the creation of a walkable and bikeable district. For mobility, we want to provide a vehicular, pedestrian, and bicycle connection to the surrounding residential neighborhoods including the future Van Buren Road extension. Redevelopment corridors. The study area for the Route 1 redevelopment corridor is approximately 414 acres and 3 miles long. It consists of a combination of strip commercial centers, automobile dealerships, business parks, industrial parks, and varied intensities of residential along the corridor. It's located in close proximity to I-95 and the Potomac Mills Activity Center. Neabsco Creek lies just southeast of the study area. A branch of the creek goes through the southern section of the study area. The vision for the Route 1 corridor is to provide a transition to a walkable and well-connected corridor with compact development patterns and integrated mixes of use. Through redevelopment of the existing strip commercial and auto-oriented uses, the corridor will gain a variety of housing options and neighborhood service commercial uses while preserving the integrity and character of the area. Looking just south of the North Woodridge Small Area Plan, there is a need to continue the synergy and investments made on the Route 1 corridor just north of this study area. Continuing the mixed-use development in residential areas to support the commercial and office uses along the corridor is key for this activity center. The key policies for land use, housing, and mobility for the Route 1 corridor include encouraging mixed-use development that integrates neighborhood-serving commercial uses with additional housing option while preserving the area's diversity and affordability. Prioritizing the redevelopment of Featherstone Plaza and surrounding properties as a mixed-use node and a catalyst for additional redevelopment along Route 1. Encouraging assemblage of parcels to create a meaningful redevelopment opportunity, provide a variety of housing options along the Route 1 corridor ranging from single-family attached to multifamily, incorporating both affordable and market rate options, encourage residential infill to provide additional housing options and create a transition in scale and intensity between the Route 1 land use and surrounding residential communities. We would also like to improve walking, bikeability connections along Route 1, along with surrounding neighborhoods, continuing to improve pedestrian environment by implementing additional streetscape improvements and consolidating curb cuts as redevelopment occurs. Exploring opportunities for new street connections and crossing points along Route 1 to reduce walking distance and provide alternative connections to Route 1 for local trips. The Sudley Road Redevelopment Corridor. The study area for this corridor is approximately 1,326 acres or 2.87 miles long. It consists of a combination of commercial shopping centers, some agricultural, open space, residential, car dealerships, and industrial parks. Bethlehem Road Activity Center abuts this study area to the west, and this area consists of a variety of intensities of residential, both within and surrounding the study area. We are introducing development along both sides of the Sudley Road corridor, integrating community commercial serving retail, housing options, and other commercial and employment activities and public spaces. To the north, we have neighborhood mixed-use areas, which will provide us transition between residential uses and the Sudley Road corridor, and also act as a buffer to lower intense uses as we approach the Manassas National Battlefield Park. We also offer community mixed use along both sides of the Sudley Road corridor, which will act as catalysts for integrating both commercial and residential uses. And lastly, we have several areas for Tech Flex, where we have existing data centers or proposed data centers within the activity center. Some of the key policies for the Sudley Road corridor include encouraging the redevelopment of the older strip commercial uses with compact mixed use that integrates new housing options and neighborhoods serving commercial uses. Prioritizing the redevelopment of the Manassas Mall site as a catalyst for further redevelopment of the corridor. Complementing the adjacent Manassas National Battlefield as well as the Northern Virginia Community Campus with hotels, dining, and retail that's associated with that type of use. Through infill residential development, We'll foster sensitivity, transition, and scale and intensity between Sudley Road and the surrounding residential uses. We'll provide a range of housing options along the Sudley Road corridor, including affordable and market rate options. We will also integrate infill residential with a range of single-family and multifamily housing options adjacent to the Sudley Road corridor. And lastly, for mobility, we will improve pedestrian and bicycle connections along the Sudley Road corridor, explore opportunities for new and enhanced east-west connections, including crossing Sudley Road and connections to surrounding neighborhoods and parks, improving the bicycle and pedestrian environment, integrated new street connections as commercial sites infill, and redevelop with new uses to create a connected street grid. One of the other items that we're looking at as part of this land use chapter update is creating an environmental resource protection overlay. Instead of using it as a land use classification, we want to incorporate it as a resource protection overlay. And this includes all areas that are considered 100-year floodplains, resource protection areas, areas with 25% or greater slopes, and areas that have soils that have severe limitations. The goal of the environmental plan is to preserve, protect, and enhance the significant environmental resources and features of the county. These are the next steps of the land use chapter update. We intend to complete the draft for additional land use and rural character areas of the county. We will finish the draft of the housing, mobility, and sewer chapters, finish the ADU ordinance, which is the Affordable Dwelling Unit Ordinance. We are scheduling a community engagement meeting, and we will accept feedback and revisions to the plan, and then conduct public hearings both with the Planning Commission and the Board of County Supervisors. This is the contact information for all the individuals that are working on the land use chapter update. Rebecca Horner, who's our Deputy County Executive and current Planning Director, David McGettigan, who's the Long Range Planning Manager, and I'm Alex Venegas, the Principal Planner and Project Manager. For more information about our Activity Center and Redevelopment Corridors, you can visit our Pathway to 2040 web portal. The web portal consists of useful information about our comprehensive plan update, including process status and opportunities for individuals to provide feedback and suggestion. And you can provide your feedback and comments through our email pathway to 2040 at pwcgov.org.